Weights of European football, head-to-head around 6,000 miles. As such meeting in the USA, won by a debut Erling Haaland goal for Manchester. Let us have a look at the team news. 8 of this knocked Bayern out of the Champions League at the quarter-final stage. He's looking after that in the booth. Pep Guardiola makes 4 changes to him. There's the showpiece ahead of the new season, along with Thomas Müller and Manuel Neuer. Experienced Japanese referee since the hamstring injury he suffered in the Champions League final. Wonderful setting for this Saudi football summit, one of the more high-profile friendly matches. Off the back of what had been a pretty intensive training camp back home. For 65-man Manchester City squad is available in reserve, including Kevin De Bruyne. Julian Alvarez just able to take the touch. And the shot when it comes from Stones is wide. He had taken up a promising position there to Gnabry in space. Did have support. The touch was a hesitant one. And be forced to settle for the corner kick. To compete for a place in that position as Musiala advances and looks for Serge Gnabry. Nearly but not quite for Bayern. Gnabry was their top incoming transfer business. There goes Jack Grealish, who turned defence into attack for Man to final. Grealish, having won the free kick, will deliver it. Gnabry the target, just a fraction away from him. From Kovacic. Still going here. It might break for Sané. Nathan Ake just able to get to it first. United has moved on to Dortmund just yesterday. Now they've linked well here. English in field. That was a little heavy. Edison hasn't got there though, still the danger. Musiala can't quite force it in. Big challenge that came in to make it more difficult for him. Sané with the corner, looking for Lima. Not quite as intended, and he took a little bit of a buffeting in the process. This one up against his former side. Caught it very sweetly, and it thumps against the bar, with Edison motionless in goal of what will be his 4th season with Bayern. He's come the clock, and still here, strong surge, Alvarez, and surely touched in on the line by McAtee, and Manchester City make the breakthrough. The more likely to score the game's opening goal prior. Looking for the immediate response. Musiala to Nasri. Sané. Kingsley Coman. This is Alphonso Davies. Didn't quite fall for him to get his shot away, but maintains position. Coman has stayed down in the penalty as far as Jack Grealish, who's quickly onto it. He's looking for Alvarez. Their own hands going into the final day. As not to disrupt the flow of the game too frequently. Lima. Bernardo Silva. Grealish attacking it. McAtee is behind. Will look to reject any further loan moves for him this summer. Keep him as part of the squad. Taking it short from the corner kick, and in rolls with Rico Lewis. Under pressure. And winning the free kick. And settle for that in the second appearance. And they come forward again here with Rico Lewis. Still trying to force his way. Trying to bend one towards that far top corner. Leroy Sané had his sights set. Just a little. Still Leroy Sané. Kingsley Coman. And again, what was by Lewis. Set up that quarter-final with City. As Sané takes the corner and nobody finds Stones. They have an extra season, an extra week. But oh, a real mix-up again at the back, and somehow has he got a palatable conclusion to his first half. Had that gone in. And Summer can breathe a big corner to try and deal with here as well. Cleared only as far away point of the first half. Came closer than anyone for Bayern in that first half with his free kick off the bar just before since his half-time introduction. Calvin Phillips. There was a target there, was Bob. Bernardo Silva is one of the few that has stayed out there. And Mane, the target through the middle. Not quite at this stage of pre-season, the same sort of strength in depth. Know the opponents inside out. After his half seat with Mane. Taking on Cancelo and going down. And he's never going to get on the end of it. Combines with compatriot João Cancelo. Slips it through for Bernardo Silva. A little bit of pinball. Rodri trying to force it in. Not quite. The options immediately available here. So they go back into their own half. He's always a regular at the end of last season. It's a very unfamiliar Bayern side in this on 6 occasions. Now Haaland's won the ball back here, finds Foden. Almost gets room in which to work there, the substitute. Raven there scrapping. Away from here though. Sadio Mane delayed the shot, and because of that he couldn't get the shot away this season. There he goes again, looking to further underline why. He was shortlisted for the Premier League 2 player to the first half when Guardiola's team went in front in that goal from Mkhitaryan. João Cancelo, newer additions to this Manchester City squad after his arrival from Vélez Sarsfield. Mane's got the ball back. After all those goal-scoring exploits last season, worth the reminder that Spurs went out and about in the city at the events that the clubs have organised. Not quite for Haaland to pursue Kyle Walker. That little flick from Perone, almost. Options ahead of him. Congested. He certainly had suitors elsewhere in Europe. Opted for Bayern. Min재에게 was Kratzig who covered good ground. And Ederson just couldn't quite keep hold of it. And it's the French teenager Tel who turns it in. Back through here for Foden. Ulrich's in the way again, but it will be turned in and the lead is restored. And Laporte has got his goal. Manchester City back in front in Tokyo.